Hello ladies, today in 5 Minute Faith we are in the first part of Psalm 37 verse 7. Be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for Him to act. This one has been a really big one for me. I think I've probably told you before, but I've certainly told everybody who knows me well. I would rather have bad news than no news at all. To me, when there's something I'm waiting for, maybe it's a good thing, like we've put an offer on a house and we want to see if we got it. Or maybe it's a bad thing, like waiting to find out what the prognosis was for my mother's cancer. To me, the unknown is actually scarier, usually, than with maybe bad news or difficult news or learning that there's going to be a long process for something. I would far rather know what the situation is and learn to deal with it than be left in limbo. I've always hated limbo. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure some of you are the same way. So for me, when I read, be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for Him to act, it's really very easy for me to get lost. If I'm praying, there's something and it's truly urgent, like it's truly important. Or even if it's not, but I'm asking God and I'm earnestly asking Him and I'm putting it in His hands and I'm trusting Him with it. It's still easy to get frustrated. God, why do we have to wait? Or why do we have to go through this? Why can't you just snap your fingers and make this happen? You have the power to do it. One of the things that I love about this verse and the fact that it puts these two ideas together of being still in the presence of the Lord and waiting patiently. I so often lose sight of who I'm talking to, and not just in a bad way. So let's say God has brought things to pass that I'm not excited about. It can be really easy when I'm waiting to hear how something's going to work out to fear that God has a different plan than me and this isn't going to go well. So that's always difficult. But also sometimes I'm waiting on something good and it seems like God's delaying it. Being still in the presence of the Lord, putting myself in mind of who He is, it doesn't just humble me, and believe me, it humbles me. But when I sit there and I think about God, the Creator, the Savior, the Spirit, the King, the Lord, the servant, when I think about who He is and what He's done, and then I put my problem or my weight or my impatience in perspective against that, it suddenly doesn't seem like as big of a deal, honestly. Even the really big stuff, when I put it and compare it to who God is, and what He's done, and what He's achieved already, yeah, it's humbling, but it's also encouraging because, my gosh, He can do anything. Like if He has a reason for this to be delayed, or if He has a journey that He wants me to walk first, like He has earned the right to ask that of me. But also, sometimes it's just a matter of actually remembering who I'm talking to from the perspective of what He's already done in my life. Like here I am on the other side of healing. Here I am on the other side of being healed from mental illness. Here I am on the other side. I mean, a completely transformed life. And sometimes I'm questioning His motives or what He intends or what His plan is. And if I just take the time to sit in His presence and think about what He's done already, it's really easy to prove to myself that whatever He's doing now is good. Like there's good to come from this wait, or there's good to come from this journey. That's not hard to see when I let myself be quiet and just be in His presence and let His Spirit talk to my heart. But I tell you what, in this really busy world, it can be very difficult to take the time and space to do that. So I would encourage you today, if you are on a journey, if you have a decision to make, or there's some difficult circumstances, or you're battling something, take the time to be still in the presence of the Lord. And then let Him teach your heart to wait patiently for Him to act. I can testify to you that He always does. He might not act as quickly as we want Him to, or He might even act in ways that we hadn't anticipated, but He will always show up. And his intentions in that are always good. I hope you can take that with you today, and I'll see you next time.